This is the angle I could have been at the whole entire day yesterday. Forge. I can't see the angle. Just like turn. So good. I'm gonna re-forge it to it. Read it over the. Oh, I'm gonna do it more now. Now that it's warmed up a little bit. Make sure y'all say hi as you come through so that I know who's watching. I'll start forging here in just a little bit. Oh yeah.
How many did you forge yesterday? It looked like you did about 3 or 4. Four? Okay.
tell you how many. Turn that big old knife into a cool looking kukri.
Red hot to less red hot.
Once this heats up a little bit, it'll stay hot longer. Temperature and everything, it kind of sucks it out pretty quick. And as this gets more heat cycles into it, the steel can stay hot longer because it's going to not get zapped.
Okay.
Right now, have a lot of material to work with because it's 3/8 of an inch thick to start with.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, so what I did was I did distal paper from the Picasso down to the tip of
The distal taper where it tapers down like that.
Yes. Yeah, so like whenever you're looking at it, it's got taper from the thickness down to here, and then there's a long taper all the way to the tip.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it that thick there, but I've got a lot of material that I can draw out.
That'll be good for balance. That'll be thicker there because you got so much forward weight.
That's what you want. You want it to be able to, if you're closing it. Imagine Doug Marcotta, how he does all of his stuff. We want it to be able to go forward and backwards.
Yeah.
Once we snap it. It's going to be good. It's going to be a blast. I'm debating on finishing it and then putting it up and going to one of the grinders and grinding it so we can get one of the whiskey guns. I think that would be cool.
That is cool.
How you doing this morning? Not too bad, yourself? Doing pretty good. Had some fun doing a little bit of forging. This 1850s anvil right here. German steak anvil. It is a hell of an anvil to use, that's for sure. Yeah, I will. Yeah, that thing's gonna be it's gonna be an anvil a lot longer than we're gonna be shooting.
Just got a smoker. Got built from my dad back in 1992.
Yep.
I bought it from a guy in Arizona. It was originally a 300-gallon boiler tank.
Yeah.
The manufacturer label is still on the back. It was manufactured in 1942. I have it at my house, and it will pass down to my daughter.
See, that is the type of stuff that I think is awesome. Being able to have, like, you know, just cool things that people might not think are heirlooms, and having that just really cool. Start drawing this thing out. Tank top, low socks, hey shoes, and 40 for hours.
Hello? My thing is, I have to get those, the ones that look like they're fitted or in the yard.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got
Yeah, this is the bigger one that I did. I'm just going to go through and turn it into a kukri. I feel like it would be really cool if I just reforged it a little bit and turned it into a really badass knife. And it wasn't cool how it was, but a big old kukri is going to look even cooler. I'm gonna do a railroad spike knife today too. Do that. So what's up, Doug? What's up, Michael? So what I'm doing with one of the really big knives that I forged yesterday, the one that had the 3/8 of an inch thick piece of steel, I like the kind of drop point chopper-ish that I had going with it. But I was talking to Doug, Markida, and a few people last night, and I think that a kukri is going to look really cool with this profile. So I'm reforging it into a really cool kukri. And then I might also do a railroad spike knife this morning as well. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to draw out this height right here to get that nice kukri profile. What we're gonna end up getting out of this is that big cross section right there, which is what you want with the kukri. I am probably gonna bring this in just a little bit and move this material back a hair and bring this down. I think that's gonna be a good profile. Railroad spike stiletto. I might do a dagger. I might do a spike dagger. Probably forge that into a knife this morning as well. But yeah, I could do a dagger. Go ahead and put that. Okay, I can do that. My business manager has me waiting. No, it works out better. So is this angle better than yesterday? Actually having the forge and y'all being able to see what the anvil looks like. I feel like this is a better angle for this. Gradually see those lines, shift this metal back a little bit, push it in, shift it back, push it in, shift it back. So this forge is really cool. I got this from Texas Fair Supply. It's an NC tool forge, and it is super quiet. I don't know how loud it is for y'all, but it's pretty dang quiet. And then of course the anvil I got from Two Bastards. Work this weekend. I really wanted to go. It would have been awesome to have you here.
That's a sexy bladesmith.
And that's a really amazing hammer maker. Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. Here's your sawmill. what y'all will see as I'm forging this, you will see this heel, it'll slowly start to come back just a little bit, and this will start tapering in for that Kumai profile. Yeah, you gotta love the Frank cameo. I wonder if y'all can even see him. He's still in the cameo. He was just hanging out right here. Little Frank. Little Frank Machado, the hammerman. So if y'all didn't know who that was, the guy who makes my Frank, the two bastards right here, or the guy who makes my hammers. The guy who did the cameo, right there, that's the hammer.
I was gonna show this is the apron case I got done at the craft shop.
Oh, that's sweet, man. Yeah.
Guys did a good job on
Yeah,
it.
no doubt.
Turning that one into a cooper.
Nice.
Last night,
Yeah.
or yesterday morning, I think that profile is gonna be nice. Pull this belly out a little bit. Work that in. Cool. Really want that long forge up here, the river. Stand 3 PSI. Right back. Of course, I'm only running this at 5 PSI, so it's still burning.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What's river burner for you?
I know, I was just looking at it, man. That's nothing all about.
And the plastic. Man, I've got some river burner forges that people have that are like almost $2,000.
Yeah. See, the problem is, like, me. So I do a lot of shop.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta have it lower.
This right here, all you gotta have.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I like the river burner ones though.
Sure.
Especially if I'm forging in my shop. But I'm gonna get to use one of them because I'm doing a demo at the Texas Fair Supply Hammer in next weekend, and we're gonna use those forges there, I guess.
That's cool, man.
Oh yeah. So that's where we're at right now. I still want to bring, I think, this in just a hair and bring this out just a little bit more. But I could leave it how it is and it'd be absolutely ridiculously awesome. Of course, it's not super straight yet because I haven't really focused on that. But I want to work on the taper a little bit more towards the tip. So it has a nice gradual distal through there. And then go from there. Yeah. And so Chris Jones is actually going to be at the Texas Fair Supply hammering I'm doing next weekend, which I'll be live streaming that as well. He's going to be doing a grinding class today. And of course, Jay Nilsson will be doing his demo. I think it's my demo, and then maybe Chris's, and then Jay's, or however we end up doing that. But yeah, I'll be live streaming all of that stuff too. And then the weekend after that, Jay Nilsson's at the Dragon Forge with us, and I'll be live streaming that stuff as well. And one of the things that was cool, I got a full interview with Doug Markida yesterday. So they came to the table, looked at all the stuff, did a full video thing for it that they're going to edit together, and that was really cool. He really had a fun just swinging the knives around, and the longer knives and swords and stuff that I brought with me. He likes the balance of them, likes to swing them around. It was cool and fun. I like that profile. That's thinner. I just need to compress this and compress it lengthwise now. So I'm gonna use the straight beam and the cross beam, and I'm gonna come across here. I'm gonna forward, boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna stretch this material by pinching it and moving it backwards. So I'm gonna be hitting it like this and pressing it that way.
I know.
So, one of the biggest questions that I get asked is a lot of the different hammers that I use. People wonder why I would use this hammer versus other hammers. And that's what these are for. It's for aggressively moving material different directions. This one, you're hammering on the steel, gives you length. This one gives you height. So height for this one, the cross beam, length for the straight beam. That way you can actually move the steel in the flow that you want it to. So you start compressing it, putting in a lot of line dents. Boom, 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 boom. And then when you go through and you flatten it, all the peaks, so we got all these valleys, all the peaks get pushed down into the same height as the valley, and it extends the length. So by default, if you have this and you go to this, you get length. I'm going to use that hammer to achieve that. Straight beam, flat on this side. How much time do you have in that blade so far? So that blade, about 45 minutes, maybe. Because I started it whenever I was finishing my 3 hours yesterday. No, I probably got about an hour in this one. I forged 3 knives yesterday in 2 hours and 10 or 2 hours and 10 minutes. now I'm pinching it in between the horn that's down here. Just zoom y'all in just a hair. So what I'm doing is I'm pinching it on the horn. We have that hard curve here. I am pinching it in between there, basically just like this, and moving it. Then I'm pinching it again right here. And that's going to move that steel where it needs to go. I'll do a round of feet when it zooms in like that. There we go. So whenever I'm doing that, the next heat, you'll see it actually come back and have a really cool profile on it. Now, we have this nice thin taper into the body here. And we have a nice round heel going up into that handle. Now, of course, one of the things that needs to change just a little bit is the profile from here to the back. I need to adjust that just a little bit. For the most part, that bad boy is going to be amazing. And then of course I need to finish distilling everything. I'll probably get what I want whenever I start distilling. I'll be able to get kind of rid of this little hump, this little dip that's right here. I want to bring that up just a little bit. So as I distil this section, I'm going to drive this steel up and do that. Not going to be trying to change the profile a ton. It's just going to be massaging. I do like the profile as it sits. Let's see how it goes with that. the door on it, the forge is going to be more efficient. So how many people watching right now are knife makers versus just people watching me do with it? California this morning. Nice. What's up, Randy? How you doing? So here soon, I'm gonna be making a tomahawk. Not in this live stream, but I will be doing a tomahawk on one of the videos coming up. I was throwing tomahawks at the tomahawk throwing they have over here, and I was like, I could absolutely make one of these because it was a basically all they did was a farrier's rasp forged around, and then just a piece of nice, steel in there. They just forge welded it together, opened the eye up a little bit, tomahawk handle on it, and it was done. And I thought, what the heck? I'm absolutely gonna do one of those. Let me show you how to do it. What do y'all think about that? Now I still gotta finish the handle. This time it's got wonky on here. The handle came over this way. But the blade we're looking good. But see this heel, the heel needs to go over that way a little bit, but that'll get adjusted as I'm working on the tang of this. I'll get that heel pushed over, but from here forward, we're looking good. That profile, that taper to the tip is looking good. All I gotta do is planish it all together, but I'm gonna work on this handle a little bit. That is a very large knife, so to give you an idea, this is my arm. Okay? That's a very large knife. Morning, Eric. What's going on? I decided to turn this into a food rig. Yeah, you said you were going to. That's going to be a hell of a...
So it's been a battle now for 7 years. We've got shirts every time. Nobody likes it. Last year we all gave time away.
Yep, that's the thing.
Now that we didn't do it this year, everybody's like, "We're gonna give a shirt. We're gonna give a shirt." I'm like, so I'm really thinking what we might do. Because here's the thing that a smart guy does. And you know, to do the show, you do all the marketing, you do all the build up, you do the show. All the marketing, all the Yep, right. Stay relevant. That was a video.
Oh, yeah.
So, smart guy wants to do smart life. Figure it out. Do something like that.
That's how my stuff is. Someone buys a shirt, it gets made, it gets sent. Most of mine are off. I think it's gonna be good. And what I'll do is any of the stuff that I get, I do a lot. I can send you stuff. That's all good. Oh yeah, and we'll have hammer in, get the one that's upstairs and why, I'll tell them change the stairs, that's next week. This is all the time. You should know a lot of it. But hey, y'all can always come to the shop and look at me.
So yeah, we have a
No, trust me.
taking up space.
That is one of those things you're like, well, I have it. And then they there.
Yeah, same with our TikTok.
My my friends know that I'm there, kind of sort of. And you're like, I mean, that's how it was whenever I first started. So I started my channel, and I was like, eight, I have no clue. People kept telling me, man, you gotta show people some of the stuff that you do. You know, you do all this random cool stuff. You gotta get out there and show people some of those cool things. And I'm like, man, who's gonna watch what I do? Who's watching Eric Rivers from the middle of nowhere do what they seriously, but it's one of those things where
Well, I love to be big, so I won't watch all these things. Now, you don't look at all the labels that are great and those. All of a sudden, again, I found stuff one time, and it was design code and with a brief, all it is video learning. These 3 years in, so that's the fun. That's all they do. So I'm going to say that. Yep. And I'll tell you, a lot of those channels like that work on that physical paper. Thank you.
you can hold it on if you want to hold it on. No. Big time. That light, it's going to go light on. That's how we have to go in that broken red spot. My little old power hammer. No more of the power hammer. See that boss? Yeah. No more of the power hammer. He's the third best. All in the wrist. All in the wrist. Dude, I'm gonna tell you, these people trash some of the guys who were born at the orchard using the straight right now. I feel sorry for a store with Dragon Force experience doing a hammer at the pommel kind of thing. And the comment section ripped him to shreds. I mean, they were like, you know, did he bring his first before? I was just like, he's never forged before. Ever. This is the first time he's swinging a hammer. He's gentle on the guy, man. You know, especially if he's ever swung a hammer, and then we're telling him, you gotta use 2 hands. It's like, it's so weird. Unless you've been a striker. Yeah, because you're made to use your one hand. Yeah, because, well, you're still using one hand, you're holding. Yeah. This is a floater. My poor little people are the ones that... Oh, God. No, I keep the one. You can get after it. I'm getting the ones that you're like, no, you need to go back to you. I'll tell you how physics work. Let's do it. Oh, yeah, that's what I need to do. 5-pound hammer while I'm playing an alternate. Yeah. Get one little whoop and then bring it. Whoop. Trying to get out of the center now. I don't know if they're doing anything. Well, so, that's gonna be I think we can still get another 2 inches. I'm good. I mean, to be fair, the fact that it's still 3/8 of an inch right there. So now I'm just trying to get that tang and peel lined up, and I'm gonna clean the blade up with a spray blade and shit into it. Slight adjustment, bro. Don't hit it cold. always a goal. I've had to explain that to a lot of people. All I'm doing right now is playing one.
Well, that one's just like that's just the old railroad spike.
That little piece of steel right there. Go away.
He's got it all set up like that. And they yes. Make one out of horse if you're done.
How are y'all doing? That's a response. How are y'all doing? Wow.
You want to watch him?
Yeah. But now I'm lining everything up. It looks way better than it did as like that kind of a drop one dropper.
All the makers that Sunday yeah, we're like, people would sit up there and they had 5 hours worth of like entertainment. And then they're like, we got our money worth. Yesterday was pretty busy as well. There's probably, and a lot of it's indoors, there's a lot of indoor stuff. They're over like 100. And every single one of them makes their own knife. They don't allow, kind of like here, they don't allow any knife to sell. Knives imported or they can't collect their knives, no way they sell stuff that they collect. Every single person here makes it. It's the same again. You don't have
I was already thinking of this list before.
and he started the whole thing as starting his wife was saying, what do you want to do for your birthday? And buddies come to the shop and run the old smart blacksmith shop in Rome. And so they all came and they hung out and did stuff and they invited people to come out. And so it just grew from that. And now it's huge and they'll do the things where they'll have the tomahawk.
I believe it.
They'll have the focus and they call it the horseshoe. They got they'll do the cutting competition. Or, competing. The one I did, I'm not doing one. I got but they'll have that. They'll have some demonstrations. This year, got one over there. I don't think Eric, how many subscribers do you have?
About 45,000.
I don't hear you all right.
No, I'll text you before I asked if I had to do anything. Yeah, that was cool.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, let me know.
How are y'all doing today? Think that's a big enough knife?
It might fit in my pocket.
The hard part about having something that's this thick in the center there, whenever you're doing distal tapers, and for one that's this long, you can get that taper where it needs to be, but because this point is so much further away than this point, getting that centered without messing up this whole entire section is always fun. So this side, I've got to pull over just a little bit, center it, and then I'll be able to go through, get it. If you can see it right now, see how on this side over here, it is just kicked over that way, just ever so slightly. You look all the way down the length of this blade, see how it's kicked over, just ever so slightly. And yeah, the buckets are to make the forge taller. That way I don't have to bend over as much. You can see I need to bring that end of that tang over just a little bit. She's running in line with the cutting edge there. So I'm gonna work with that. I'm gonna pull that over. A lot of times if I had a vise here, I would just put it in the vise and just give it a little crank, and it would straighten that right back up. But I don't have Bryce here. All I have is hammer and anvil, so I'm going to straighten it again. So a lot of the stuff that I do, so the thing I'm making right now, this is this is a fun color. I am playing with it. Fun hammer. That is, I was pretty much done with everything that I was forcing. I still had time for that. I'm going to do 3 hours in 3 hours. Finish in like 2 hours. So I was like, I'm going to do a force one. Somebody brought me a 3/8 piece of steel. It was not long. And I was like, well, at first I was just going to make a drop point chop it, and then last night I was thinking I'm gonna make a hoover. So I just changed the profile a little this morning. What's that? 3/8 thick for Taco. Distal that way, taper this way. Right now I'm just going through and straightening it. Get everything in line how it's supposed to be. Of course, this would also be easier if I had a vise, because then I would do I got a vise over there? Where's it at? Right next to Phoenix. Next to it, right there.
Come with me.
We're live. Say hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. Because I can adjust this on the vise over here. Let's see. Yep.
and I'll adjust it on there. Oh, and they got the forge over here, so that'll work too.
Leave it on?
Yep.
So that, try that, and I think that's what you're really doing really easy.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try that. That'll be good practice.
Yeah, that same kind of thing, you do that, you do a lot of things, make reasons like that.
Just in case I need a pop up with a fluffy screen.
Right.
I'm just gonna set it here.
I have one of those in my truck. Right, can I video ball or something? I need the light from your camera to see this, Eric. I'm just using the light from your video. All right, just check.
Eric, I meant to talk to you. Irina was talking to you the other day about giving you a booth in our shop. I was talking to her, and I don't know if she's mentioned it. I think any better than which one state. You don't have to bring all your equipment. I've got forges, presses. Give you the first hour of the day. You do your live chat on stage. Got the whole background on mic and everything like that. So I'll take you don't have to have a booth out there. I'll take care of you. All right, Eric. I'm all for having you out there doing that. It'll be a lot of fun. One of neighbors up there.
This was the forge knife that I did yesterday.
Nice.
Somebody dropped me some creative.
So you weren't waving anybody on the way home?
No. Yeah, I did. My goal was 3 knives in 3 hours. I did those in 2 hours. And that's forge to finish. One is a full example knife. The handle knife for IV and everything. And then I got this one. I was like, forge it out, all that. Going through straightening it. A lot easier to put in the line.
Oh, yeah.
Sit there,
Yeah.
work your way down. And just so y'all don't know, this is Cowboys and Mansky from Phoenix Knives. So the Texas Select show that I go to, he's the one that runs that. Him and his wife Elena. They're the ones that run it.
It's going to take you almost the same kind of look. Practice with it straight. You know, and that's the fun part about it.
I love the work.
So to show y'all what I'm going to be fixing now with the vise, you see how this is twisted a little bit? This is why the vise comes into play. I'll be able to clamp it down here and rock it, move it as I go forward.
And, you know, when you do it
So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going down the actual edge, and I'm going to be slightly moving it with the tongs, and I'm going to straighten it up as I go forward. And we're using the post leg vise to do this.
you do the same thing with the wall. And it's over, it's noticeable. Really long. So where we're at right now is we're at the Aggies Blacksmithing Club. So it's on his logo right here. And these guys actually come out here and forge as well. So they've got the forge going, anvil, stand, and they do some of the blacksmithing here, which is pretty cool.
Well, there you go. Now we're not That's what we want. Here in just a minute, we'll go back over there. We'll forge a railroad spike knife. little knife that I forged. One of the other knives that I have over there, at the time, was demonstrate the fact that a lot of people would grind the handle the way nowadays. Somebody can cut it out. So I said, our way. So I took that equivalent piece of steel, forged it one at the time. So I just showed, hey, this is a full 4-finger knife. So it's so cheap, it's $125 knife. Around the way, you know what I mean? I'm supposed to take it, forge it on the profile, save that skill,
You've done work training for the honestly. That's all she did. This, which I think is yep, it's real fun.
Now, I will tell you this, a lot of this, you can upset that skill a lot, and you can get that out to about 3/16, where it gets slightly harder, depending on how you upset it. I've done some of these where I'll IV it a little bit, I'll make like take a bolster out of parts. So I'm taking out an area that I'm going to forge down into this section right here. I'll start forging it, and I'll start IVing it as I go. And I'll get like a bolster about that wide out of my 3/16 stock. And then whenever you grind it down in to your hidden chain or however you're going to do it, you got to check the bolster to get a little IV bolster. And it's all about, man, these are blacksmith techniques. Now, I have a section of my anvil that's rounded, and on my end, I've got a rounding or a crease beam, and I forge these things. Yeah, that's what I you actually find him again. It's got a full right. It's got And now he does what he does. I've got here the glass hammer, and I've got a lot of friends that have this. As you can tell, because that's very off, and you got $40. Most people would just be like, send it. It's a straight fee. Congrats.
Like, as you can see, that angle.
Okay, how are you?
Yeah, sure, Mark. Yeah. I'll take it.
Absolutely. That's my
Super rusty.
So, do you do it in some material after the actual It's not just doing nice things, it's all the people, this is way more useful than people the amount of tools that were made so that we can use that it's cool to be like a and then boom, you got another tool that's made, or they might improve on the design, or they might change it a little bit, and somebody goes, that's what we should have done. If you're able to do that, you know it, all the way around, all the way to the person inside. That tool is too and how, boom, yeah, yep, I can do it better, I can better ideas, or I can modify it to make sense, before you know it, another tool is made. Let me tell you something. Again, I love that. And a lot of people who watch these right here, you know, it's one of those things where they get to see the great stuff and you get to see, you know, of course, everybody likes cool design. They actually like it. Like when you talk about instant gratification, that is the finished working, and you're like, holy shit, that's cool. You're like, oh yeah, I made that. And it's cool. You know, and it's like, or damn, like when you make your first meal, that is insane. When I did my first meal, I have to do it up at the Darien Rifle, Dragon Forge, up in Washington, right on the other side. I got to use the press, get my first hammer, punch my first eye, tripped everything, all that stuff. And I was like, love this.
Members, I feel like
So, block. Yeah. Pressing around, so going through, really? So going through, pressing and pulling out the face, and like all that stuff. Dude, it's so nice, man. Being able to do that, it's like, it is really so yeah. Can you make this for me?
yeah, it's free. Goodbye. This is a long time.
Especially if you're gonna make something like that. So if I made something like that, for an engineer, which is why that dude should have jumped on for a usable, real Ford warning. Like, I got him on Etsy for $35. Yeah, that's it, rolls the edge. It's like, I cut 6 pieces of paper and the edge is like that. It's those things. Pretty much collecting nice cars in the corner. That's all you got. It's all parked. Okay. Random. I'm like, you know what? We'll figure out something. This is the first thing after I morning. Yeah, go ahead. I am going to take y'all back over to the forge. I'll be back over here in just a minute. Alright, so let's go back over here. It's always interesting walking through a knife show or something like that with the whole tripod attached to my phone. So, yeah, I'm doing this for y'all. Everybody looks at me like, what the heck's this guy doing? Now, of course, a lot of the makers here, they know that I'm doing this, so it's not that crazy. Yep, so everything is straight. I used their vise over there. Okay. Put y'all back down over here. And can you get a look at the crate sheet? Hold on. Yes, I can show you. Thanks, dude. You too.
Gordon.
I'm gonna take this bad boy, and I'm gonna let it start cooling down. So word of advice to anyone who's going to come to a place like this and forge, get yourself a big old wire brush. These are okay, but they don't take much scale off. Trying to figure out which tones are going to be the best for forging the spike map. I think that's going to be, those are going to be the ones that I'm going to work with there. I think that'll work out well. By the way, I've been super excited about having Nisha here at the show, my wife. She's been helping actually sell things so that the show, we make money at the show. And she's been doing an amazing job of killing it. Let's see here. I'm going to see if it's cold to the touch. Cold to the touch. Listen here, Doug. Calm down. You were right. That was probably an OSHA violation, having her walk through the forging area. The random person just walking through the forge. Here's one of the ones we just got done finishing. Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and turn it into a kukri today. So I went through and changed the profile on it. I like that profile. And I'm about to do a railroad spike knife. Yeah, that is a big knife. Nice and straight. I'll let Doug look at it here. At the end of the forging last night, I started that one. Overnight, I was like, I want to turn it into a hand and a half kind of handle. Although I have friends that put their hands on a regular knife. My friend Rick Hole, his hand's so big that this is really Alright, that's it. And nothing happened to it. I just boiled the whole entire thing. Hey, if you pull it out fast enough to get here, that's what I'm blaming on. I was telling, like, have you shook Rick Hall? You know what Rick Hall is? His hand was bent out like a regular knife.
See, now I'm sitting here, I'm doing the Ben Abbott thing. With the Doug Marquette.
Oh, your hand's got a little bit of room. Yeah, if I put that in Rick's hand, like sometimes I'll pick up Rick's knife and I'm like, my hands are like maybe, like, yeah. And then sometimes he'll pick up one of his knives and he makes people like us, normal folks, and he grabs it and it's like this. Like he grabs the whole entire like following
3 fingers.
yeah. His hand is so big. Like, on a big hand day, he's one of the newer parts of the funny big hand day. Little big baby hand. So he does chopping competitions. He does part of the podcast. But his hands, no joke. Yeah, his hands, that was wild. Because he had like some hormone thing that happened whenever he was born. So his hands just deep broke. That's weird. Yeah. So they're massive. Y'all see me like throw my knife around? Try these tongs too.
That's really cool. Let's go look around a little bit.
We saw him first put in like a steel block.
Steel block?
Yeah, and he made it the shape of a knife, but not.
Look, let's watch.
stickers in your bag.
Your arm get tired?
Oh yeah. So we finished that one this morning.
That's cool.
It's a big knife.
Yeah.
Did that one. I worked on that a little bit yesterday. My goal yesterday morning was to forge 3 knives in 3 hours. I finished the 3 knives in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I forged the 4th one. And I decided to change the profile a little bit this morning. And that's what I got under that. Now I'm doing a little railroad spike knife. And I'm creating what we call a integral bolster. Where the handle is going to be integral to the knife, so you have to step everything down, and then we'll come in with different hammers and draw the height out, the cross beam. You'll start dropping what we call a heel down. Drop forge.
Drop forward.
The joy of doing this without what they call railroad spike tongs, which actually exist. But yeah, we'll go through the cross beam, start dropping this down.
What are you using?
Breaking it down even more. What was that?
What are you using to hold it?
So this is a pair of tongs. We use these to hold the edge of this so that we can move it around while we hammer on it. And this right here, this is called a railroad spike. They hold railroad tracks down with them.
Yeah, but it's hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very high.
That.
If I touch this in the water, it boils. Yeah, it's hot.
These hammers that you're using, are they like anywhere here?
So that burgundy tent right there,
Yeah.
he's the one that makes them. It's Two Bastards, Texas Smithy and Supply. So Two Bastards, all of the ones that I use, the main ones, you see right here, here, there.
Yeah.
Those are all the ones I use, and he's the one that makes them. And which they're specific hammers. So like I use this for drawing out length, drawing out height. So when we want to pull the height of the blade and manipulate it to where it needs to go, or we need to get the length extended, like whenever I did this, that started off as a rectangle. That was just a rectangle piece of steel. By using the right hammers, and pull everything and move everything to where it needs to go. What I focus on is the blade smithing part of it, with blacksmithing techniques, being able to use the hammer, the anvil, all that stuff to be able to manipulate the steel so you don't have to grind it as much. A lot of the people nowadays, they'll take the piece of steel, take a rectangle, grind a knife out of it. There's a knife. For me, everything that you grind off that knife is all money. All the steel that ends up as dust, money. I don't know about all of y'all. I don't got extra money to just be putting somewhere in a bucket. So everything has to go into the knife so that you can sell it and recoup your money.
What's the deal with the long handle?
So this is a 1850, made in 1850, hand-forged anvil, and this is from Germany, and it is absolutely awesome. It's actually a stake anvil. Frank with Two Bastards, the guy who, of course, makes the hammers, had the base made for this anvil. So it's just a stake anvil. It's got a big spike on the bottom of it. Stake it into it there. So it's really cool. And of course, big old base, little tong holder, everything like that. Most anvils that you see are going to be like this one right here. It's behind here. That's going to be your standard style anvil. This is a nice double horn, which lets you get into nice tight areas here, all the way through here. Lets you work with really big pieces all the way around it.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. It's a very useful anvil. And then he actually rounded this section just for me to do these little integrals that I do here. But basically, on a railroad spike, you end up with like a 3/4 inch square that you gotta forge down into your piece of steel and then expand it all out. versus if you're working with a piece of regular bar stock, it's already the thickness roughly that you need it to be. But whenever you're doing something like this, you're responsible for creating what thickness you want. So you gotta bring it down, you gotta keep everything centered, and a lot of that is all material manipulation and management. To be able to get the results.
What happens if we cut it?
What happens if you cut it?
If we crush
Oh,
it?
if you touched it? Let me show you. You want to know what happens? I'm going to show you something. You see my hands? You see all these scars? That's what happens when you touch it. You don't want to do that. Things melt whenever you do that. You don't want to do that.
He didn't put our nose.
Yeah, that is it's not fun to touch hot steel. Not at all.
So is that piece of metal that you're holding with the tongs? Is that going to be the handle, or are you going to put a piece of scale on the
this
handle?
whole entire section is going to be the handle.
Are you going to put like a color for the handle on?
Like a piece of wood?
Yeah.
No, on ones like this, all we do is typically, if I had a vise here, I would twist that section and then put it into a spiral so that it kind of rounds the handle and it's more comfortable. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to planish bevels into this and actually make it to where it's comfortable for you to hold.
And
Go ahead.
it's crazy that you take a rectangular piece of steel and you can make it into a knife. That is really cool.
Yep. As long as you practice, you can do a lot of that. Yes, so I'll show you something. So both of these, all the way from this size, all the way down to that little bitty old thing right there. You can go and hold it.
Can I hold that one? That's really little. That's huge.
So all of that is all just using a hammer and an anvil to be able to turn a piece of rectangle into a knife. Those are not sharp. That's why I handed it to you.
on your knife, I've been making a hammer, which that you have to bring out flat, stretch out all of this. Yeah, like those guys, they were like, just cut off this line. That's going to be enough if you don't get through all of it. Oh yeah, it's like everything happens.
Yep, so whenever you're working, I'm going to show you something. So whenever you're working with a piece of steel and you want to get this profile, what your goal is, let's say you figure out where your blade's going to be. You know, okay, I'm going to have this amount of length for what I'm going to turn into the blade. This is still a square or a rectangle. You take it, you figure out where the heel's going to be, you get yourself a little beak right on the edge, and that'll be the piece that you know is a separation for handle and steel for your blade. All you're going to do is you're going to hold it for some better tongues than what I'm doing now. You're going to come in at an angle, and you're just going to work it down, all the way down, all the way down on the edge of that anvil. What's going to happen is you're going to get a pie cut or a wedge straight to there. And then if you take the back side, hammer it, go, 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 you're going to end up with an M. What you're going to do with that is then start forging that M peak of that, start forging that down so you get to this little section here, and by default, you slowly start working that. And if you want to get this nice soft curve, all you got to do is either come to your horn and start forging it, start working it, working it, working it. Same thing in here, working it, and you'll start getting that nice curve. Or you can come in and you can use the edge of your anvil where you have a slight radius, and you can start working that in and smoothing it. And what happens is whenever you start forging and pitching this section, you get a natural flare, swell. So for that, that's all just getting used to forging the profile that you want. And then
Did you make those hammers?
and hammer control and planishing. Planishing is huge. A lot of people hear the phrase you forge it hot, get it really hot, you forge it while it's hot, and as soon as it starts losing color, you put it back in the forge. That works when you're trying to manipulate a bunch of steel. Whenever you're trying to actually plane it and planish it and make it nice and smooth, you want to let it get kind of to like a gray tone. You know, it starts cooling off a little bit so that when you hit it with the hammer, it more flattens rather than dents. Because when you're trying to manipulate a bunch of steel, you want to put those dents in, and as you flatten them, it extends the steel. But we're just trying to planish and make things smooth, make things straight, make things even, so that you have a nice finished product at the end of the day.
All your hammer that you're putting everything out, what hammer?
So,
That's the guy
a lot of people can use
last
any kind. I use a few different hammers, so I'll have big faces on my hammers, so I can planish with one like that, but I can also planish with one of these little guys. This is basically an auto body.
But it's harder with that.
Nope. Nope, because the nice thing about this with it being so light is whenever you're going through and you're planishing, this is not going to put a big dent on your steel. And a lot of this is how your hammers are faced. So a lot of people will get, let's say you bought a sledgehammer from Harbor Freight. They have a square or an octagon on it, and then they'll have a circle as the face. So basically what it looks like is you'll have a head kind of like this, but instead of it being smooth right here, they 45 it, and it's got a hard edge circle around it. So whenever you hit the steel with that, no matter what, you're going to put those circle dents
You gotta smooth it
over
out
and over
like
and
that.
over. So whenever you face your hammers, that is going to be, so even though this is flat, it has a slight curve to it. So whenever I'm hitting with it, it's real easy to smooth things out. Especially if you use one like this, really big face on it. You can planish a lot with that, or if you're trying to forge a lot of steel out, having a big round, moves a lot, then go down to smaller ones. It's all about what hammers you're using at the time. And this is like, as you start getting into using specific hammers, you're doing more blacksmithing than you are knife making. You're using blacksmithing, bladesmithing techniques, and you're getting it exactly how you want it. That's always the goal when you forge things. That little bitty knife, this one right here, I did this one yesterday as kind of like a proof of what you miss out on. Just like you say you cut out this section, I used the same size piece of steel that was removed right there to make that knife.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
Like
to
a
show
donut
people-
hole.
Yes. So to show people what you can get out of a lot of the steel that gets removed by grinding, and now you have a whole knife that you can sell.
Can I hold that tiny knife?
Because it's when years ago I was grinding. And I'm like, I want to do the real deal. And I got to where I'm good at making blades, and still I cut my and ground my profile out.
Yep.
I would rather do. Wow, look at that.
That was not sure.
That's basically what happened with me. Is I wanted to get used to doing this, and whenever I started doing it, I'd watch a few people on YouTube on how they did things, but
this right here, what he was talking about.
I needed to actually try it out. I needed to figure out how I wanted to work. And then I teach people
When he got this hot,
how
he was
I
able to
figured
move
it out.
all that metal out there.
Because the way that I feel like a lot of people teach
cool, huh?
this particular skill is they assume that people know basics. They assume that people know a certain amount of things, so they'll skip certain parts of the process because they're like, surely this person knows how to hold a hammer. Hell, some people don't know how to hold hammers at all. You know what I mean? Or some people will treat it like a framing hammer, so they'll hold that bad boy all the way right here. A lot of us, we're forging, we're all the way right here. Because we're all about hammer control. And then when we started wanting to really move material, we might move it back here when we're really forging. But a lot of it would spin into this area. And then also the way you hold the hammer is way different. You're just holding it and letting the hammer kind of do its own thing. You're just directing the flow. You're not gripping right here. You're doing all that stuff. Yeah, so a lot of people, when they're trying to teach somebody some of these techniques, they're assuming that you know some of those things by default. Some people need to be taught the whole process.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do. You know, I just y'all don't know nothing.
That's
And,
red hot,
we go from
shiny.
there. Yeah, this is real hot right now. But once you get used to using a lot of your hammers, you can use pretty much any of the hammers to do what you want to do and still receive a pretty similar process or similar looking knife. Once you get used to your hammer control and how you're going to manipulate the steel, what you're going to do with it, leaving certain thicknesses so that you can forge other areas. So let's say I wanted to make this a little bit of a drop point. Well, I have enough steel in the spine there that if I took one of my rounding hammers and I started forging down this spine, it would automatically drop this point down by moving around that material. Has to go somewhere. And so you don't always have to focus on forging a profile. Sometimes you want to leave a specific amount of steel in a place that you can move it later. For me, like this one, this was kind of recessed right here. So what I did was I forged this material here and bumped it out. Instead of trying to sit there and forge it this way and mess with it like that, I just took this section, whoop, pinched it down a little bit. And I got that profile that I wanted off of that, just by manipulating a little bit of thickness
And
here.
knowing where it's going to go.
Correct.
The question I want to ask you, like you were had to flip over straightening your edge up, hammer, okay? Once I was making a batch of knives, and I got them down pretty thin and was straightening my edge instead of grinding it to keep hammering. And when I quenched them, I got bacon real bad. Is it like, is it just once you get down so thin, you quit straightening the edge like that and you use the file and grinder? Or
That's not really what happened.
what do do?
If you get it so thin, you do have the chance that things are going to work like that. If you were to have, did you anneal it after you were done forging? So brought it up to about 1600, let it cool slowly. Okay, so
and my tempering is all by color. I don't have any oven.
yeah. So with this, whenever I get done forging, typically I would let it come up to about 1600 degrees in the forge, let it come up to a slight warm, and then turn the forge off, let it cool inside the forge slowly. And that's going to normalize it. And then you do, well, it's going to anneal it with an income. And then if you normalize it, thermal cycling, it's going to be bringing it up to 10, bringing it outside the forge, let it cool in still air at about 1600 for those skills. Do it again at about 1500. And all you're doing is you're just looking for a lighter coating as you go down. The last one, bring it down to about 1400. Let it cool outside the forge. Whenever you normalize it, it's going to release a lot of that relaxment. Oxidization processes and all that stuff. But as you do that, you're going to be able to not worry about it. If you go straight from forging, you just set it to the side, you go and heat it up and quench it, you could have heated it up too much.
Right.
And then quenched it and have that issue.
I don't normally have problems, but I did it. And what I would do is after I would forge something, then I would heat up and cool it in the light to do any of my engraving, fine work with a file or whatever.
Manipulate better than putting it in the
Yeah, and then I would normalize it and then heat it up. I know there's a lot I need to go in the bag, but I just don't really have much trouble with working, but I have in the past. And then for me, and I've had good luck with it, I probably have better luck if somebody taught me, but my tempering, I just take a cut cord and barely start heating it and let my color go.
You can do that, glue the spine back and all that.
I've never done anything in oven. I just let the colors run till I get it to where I want it on that piece of metal.
Yep.
But like you said, as far as letting things cool, heat them up, let it cool off, cycling stuff, I know nothing about that.
Hey, it's all one of those little bits of a learning process as you go through and do it. you will you'll get used to all that. And a lot of my stuff, I have an oven, but a lot of my stuff will do that bad boy in the kitchen oven for your tempering. And the reason why, now you can do the torch tempering and that's fine, but let's say you're trying to achieve a certain result. But a lot of people don't know is that a lot of steels have recipes. A lot of steels have recipes for achieving certain hardnesses after the quenching. So let's say you're working with 80 CRB2 and you get it to 67 HRC having quench. You're trying to get it down to 61. Well, there's a recipe for what temperature you have it in the oven for what duration to get down to that. So it's one of those things where you can almost be fooled a little bit by the color of the steel as you're using your torch and do that stuff. Even though it turns straw, it might not have softened up but like up to 2 HRC. That bad boy might be super hard, or it might not have softened up too much. You might be down in the 50s. So the color of that only matters so much, as opposed to the recipe.
And
So,
you have the thermometer?
yeah, the thermometers work, but a lot of times you shoot your oven, set it to 50. And you can just set a timer and pull it out whenever it's done. A lot of us do 2 rounds of that tempering as well. But there's a recipe for every steel. And these are people who've gone through and figured out exactly, they did all the science, they did all the math. But that's why I try to tell people, there is, let's say you work with any steel, you just Google what that steel is, and like knife steel nerds, have it in the recipe. They'll show you what you want to do.
I was going to show you, this is his leaf, his little papered out, and that's that, and it was not like
I like those profiles. That is the type of profiles that I like. Just a good classic, just yeah.
But it's good. And of course, I don't know a whole lot about anything. Just kind of go look for from the old blacksmith. Like all I got where I was using is leaf springs. And I know leaf springs ain't all the same.
Nope.
But it's but I've been hammering those out. Whenever I get ready to draw my colors, generally I'll draw everything to blue, somewhere from the blue. And I've read, drawing the color and all, but then I do big tests. Whenever I get the blue, I can flex them a little before they bend once in a while and not break. But anyway, that's on my leaf spring, since I found that out, I draw everything with blue. Before I put handles on them, I test my age, make sure it's not perfect. But as far as I would like to learn the correct way to cycle and all that stuff, I don't know.
See, I'll tell you this, when it comes to steels, leaf spring is the most, like 5160 is the most forgiving steel you'll ever see. I did, whenever I first started really working with different steels and messing with knots, I went through and I tested so many temperatures on 5160. So I quenched it all the way from, I think I did like, the hottest one was 1625. And I went all the way down to 1400. And snap tested all of them, and just sat there and messed around with the grain. You've got about 100 degrees of play when it comes with getting a hardenable, decent knife out of this. It is awesome. But you're right, some 5160, they're going to have chromium, vanadium, you're going to have different things like that. You're going to have for corrosion resistance. You're going to have all kinds of different stuff. If you look at, I'll show you real quick. this one, this is the 460 that's got the chromium video. And you can see the layers. This one right here, the whole radius on the spine is all everything there, the whole wheel, all the way through here. I'm in Wichita Falls, Texas. I'm about 5 hours.
Is this your own company?
So the Rivers Experience is I teach how to do this on YouTube, and it's I teach several things. Like next week, I'm at Texas Air Supply doing a hammer in with Jay Nielsen, and but yeah, I'll come to things like this and teach. So I'll be at the Texas Select Show April as well. I'm doing a hammer in stage.
What's your YouTube?
So it's the Rivers Experience.
Okay.
So the Rivers Experience. Whenever I first started doing YouTube, I didn't know I was going to be a knife maker, and I never made knives. I did a knife collection for a while, but I had one of my YouTube videos go viral, and I was like, all right, guess I'm a knife maker. And I've been making knives ever since. But on my channel, I've got from my very first knife all the way to my most recent. So there's a full documentation of where I started to where I'm at now. And the difference between the way I do my videos and other people do, it's a lot of demonstration. So break it down, break it down, the handle work, breaking down the forging process. I've got live streams forging several times, and how I use the hammers, the hand mill, all that stuff. You can watch it from the rectangle to the forge to finish knife. What hammers I'm using the whole thing. And it's like some of them are like 2-3 hours long. This shave was almost 4 hours.
I know I got I want to be as good as I can.
See, and that's what I like to hear. That's I'm always one of those people that I have fun making knives, and I want people to have fun doing this because I feel like we need more people to. It's not so much the weekend warrior. I want people to want to get into making all kinds of stuff. Because knife making leads to tool making, leads to new innovation, leads to a whole bunch of new stuff. We have so many people that got into knife making, not because they like knives, they just were like, you know what, I'm gonna try this, and they were already making other things. And then what ended up happening was they want to buy a tool, realize that tool is very expensive, and they go, I wonder if I can make this, because they were a machinist before they were a knife maker, or they worked in CNCs and did some sort of metalwork, and before you know it, they're making a completely new tool that all of us needed, but we didn't know we needed. And boom, somebody got into knife making, and then before you know it, you got a new cool thing that works real well.
That logo of yours, and it's got a lot of swirling stuff, right? That yours. How do you? Is that a stamp or is that a?
So she actually made those with
Yeah, it's you talking about different crafts. know, I've always been a welder fabricator.
Yep.
From learning how to, I know how to make metal. So when I started wanting to make knives, I had a big head start on that. Learning how to hit metal and make it go.
Yep. What do you need? It's one of those things that, again, kind of get used to material manipulation and all that. I did auto body, welding, I did stonework, where we actually did like I did granite countertops and everything. And before we had a router that did all that, I had to do all the edge work by hand. And if you screw it up, you can't put the granite back on.
It helps when you're a craftsman, whenever you get into something.
Yep. And so for me, being able to see things symmetrical works so well with my integral bolsters and I'm fortunate and stuff like that. And being able to eyeball what piece of skill I need to achieve a certain goal. Like whenever I'm forging handles like this, and being able to know that I have enough material to have everything for there. And then also figuring out on your hand build, what's your size of your hand. So I knew when I first started working on this, that section would work with my hand. So as long as I can do this with that, that's going to fit my hand. So I can go ahead and forge it. Because you're not grabbing that when it's hot. And going, oh yeah, that's great. I can stop there. We've got to actually pay attention to a lot of different things and it's going to make your life easier. As long as you just get used to using all the hammers, all parts of the handle, and have a flash or whatever. The Damascus knife, that was fingernail polish. My first maker's mark I ever did. Fingernail polish on the blade, I take a pencil and I draw my maker's mark and I would let it dry and etch it in with the etcher. That was whenever I first started, I was like, I'm not going to spend $300 on an etching machine. That's not going to happen. So this was a railroad spike to start off with. That's what we're forging right now. All I'm doing right now is just working on refining the profile and the bevels and everything. One of the guys on the live stream probably wants me to do like a chopper out of this or a stiletto or something like that. To make it some kind of drop point, camp knife type deal. I'm going to end up beveling the edges here so that handle's comfortable. Just forming it down into a little knot. The ones that are over here, that's 3 of the ones that I was working on yesterday. I've got another one.
This way, okay.
These are ones that I forged yesterday. I was all here doing this.
How do you play?
My goal is right now. Teach people how to do forging to that point. So you don't have to do a whole bunch of time. I'll do it.
Is that a railroad spike?
Yep.
They wanted to see a little pounding on it whenever it gets hot.
Oh yeah. But yeah, if y'all would have been here earlier, I finished forging that one this morning.
Okay, nice.
Like, all right, I brought a little guy over here for you. Go ahead, go ahead and start using that. Yeah, that's gonna be an awesome. So what I'll end up doing is the hard edges on the spike. I'll go through and I'm gonna bevel that hammer and anvil. Make it to where it's actually.
Is that what you were working on now, hammering in the bevel?
Yep, that was, I took it from the spike shape and I started forging the blade thickness down a little bit. And then I used this hammer right here. The anvil has the same radius ground into it. So then I go in and I ground the handle size down into the blade. It's like a nice transition. Call it an integral bolster. And do that by hand, ground it up into the blade, and then we start pulling the bezels down, getting that to where it goes. So that whenever you're looking at it, gold, of course, it'll get refined more. It's nice transition down into it, and then you bring the bezels down, start working on your blade profile. Once I get that roughly to where I want it to be, I'll go ahead and grab it from the blade side and start working on the handle. So if I had a vise, which I probably could have went over to the Aggie Blacksmith section over there, they have a vise. I probably could have twisted it, but typically I would twist this. So it makes a nice round handle. So basically I just want to get the blade to a rough profile, and then I'll flip it over and start working on that handle and making it clean. Instead of going in and grinding that in, I'll do it with the hammer and anvil and get it nice and clean. So that is the goal of this. Typically, like I said, I would actually go through and I would twist that section. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to put a full pump on it. Just because I can. And it's like the whole goal of all this is you just take a rectangle and forge a knife. These are both just rectangles. Started off as rectangles yesterday, and it's just taking, forging it down until a full knife with bevels and everything, getting a full, ridiculous knife out of a rectangle. This was going to be the big one out of the three that I was forging yesterday. And then someone brought me a 3/8 inch thick bar of steel, and I was like, wow, this looks like a small knife. What the heck? This was going to be the small knife. It was supposed to be big knife, small knife. And it was like really small knife, regular knife, big knife. And so now I have all the sizes. And that was kind of the fun of this. And the whole point behind these two knives is a lot of people, they'll take and they'll just grind or cut away the steel in this section. Instead of forging it, they'll just take that and grind it away. So that turns into dust. Well, I took that same size of steel and I forged the whole knife out of it to show how much you get rid of. It's a whole knife yourself. Instead of it being dust in a grinding bucket, get yourself a knife out of it, finish it out, put handles on it, and sell it. It's $120. That would have been dust if you didn't forge it.
How did you harvest that steel off of that?
So what I did was I figured out roughly what I was going to do, and I cut a piece of steel for it. So there was two different pieces of steel, just to give an idea of what it was going to be. This was just a regular. I just went ahead and forged and everything like that.
Gotcha.
But I knew roughly what was going to be here. I cut a piece of steel that size and I forged that rectangle into this. Yeah, and it's a nice little simple size. The whole goal is to just work with what you got and have a blast. Let's do this. Then we just come up here. Start beveling. More down here. That one, and I think there might be one over here. It's my grandson. Is he with the Aggie blacksmith? I don't know what. Back gutter? Okay, take over there first, 'cause that's the young guy. Thank you. Yep. I think it's fine. Cook. Gotta get this to go forward a little bit. It's not like. See, what's happening is the. No. When I first started doing this, I had the spike out like this. They were just going. So it was turning all the flames down towards that little base.
Is that just a railroad spike?
Yep. Yep, it was a railroad spike. I'm just turning that into a small little knife.
What steel do you think that is? High carbon or?
So it's technically a high carbon spike, but they are closer to about 1040. So
Okay.
it's not going to be anything superior. It's not going to be a 1095 or anything like that.
1040 is not too bad. 1095 is good.
Yeah.
It's around that area.
So it's not going to be anything super fantastic. A lot of people who make spike knives who are going to sell them for a lot of money, they'll take it and split it, put a piece of high carbon steel in there, forge weld it. That way the edge steel is high carbon, and they'll do it that way. For these, I forge a ton of these. I do the Dragon Forge experience at the Texas Renaissance Fair. So go there, we'll forge a whole bunch of these people. Because we let them actually participate. They get to do the hammering. They basically work as strikers. They're sitting there and they're whacking the steel, we're directing them for them and all that. Yeah.
That's cool. I played trumpet out in the Renaissance Festival for years.
Yeah?
I used to play at the joust.
Really?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
We're working on a few chrome ollie blades for the jousters right now.
Okay.
We got a few swords that we're making for them.
Do you still have that older dude, the green older guy? You still coming around?
Yes, he does. So we're doing a sword for him. But that guy, that's a full outfit right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That is a lot of work.
Yes.
Yeah, he came by the forge last weekend, and because we got a guy that's working on swords. Yeah, that was the first time I saw him. I was like, that's a whole outfit right there. Yeah, because you know a lot of the people, they come there and they've been working on their Ren Fair outfits for a while. You know? And for me, I basically wear a kilt, a little swashbuckler shirt. We have like a little uniform type thing with a black kilt, burgundy shirt. Yep, and we're there just forging.
Yeah.
You know,
We
10
had to
hours.
wear tights though, too.
Yeah.
That was pushing it. It was okay.
Yeah.
Tight.
It's something else. It's a new experience. So luckily, I say luckily, but we don't have to do as much of the accent because we're trying to keep people safe while we're doing it. Yeah, but it is something else whenever you got to go through and keep that going the whole entire time.
You would be hardest if you're doing demonstration. We didn't really have to talk to people as part of our gig, so they just wanted them to kind of use the lingo, but for you it would be much harder.
It would be much harder trying to keep people safe and using the Queen's English or
Brogue or something. Right.
And so it took a little bit for me to get used to all that. tell you right now, it is a blast being there.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't know I was gonna like it as much as I do.
Yeah.
Like, and I have my own dragon there that I get to use, and it is like, so of course when I'm there, the mouth of my forge is the mouth of a 9-foot tall steel dragon.
Wow.
So it's huge. The wings are, the wingspan's probably 15 feet.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge dragon. And the mouth is steel. The mouth has got teeth and everything.
Oh, wow.
It is absolutely crazy.
Wow.
And so
Is that yours? That's what you did?
no, the guy who did it, his name is Josh Weston. He made them all, but that is the one that I use all the time.
Wow.
And I think she has see how starting to work that in. And I'm gonna make sure that that flat piece works its way all the way to the same blade thickness. So it's a nice setup on there. That goes in. Same thing for y'all. Rounding that as we go. Now it's October, November, Yep.
Some years it was cold. Cold and rainy. We went tight.
Yeah.
You know, if I was playing the first part on high, I would have to switch with somebody. If I don't have any body fat, I would get so cold I couldn't play high anymore. So we would have to switch around and have to do with that. Where y'all from? Yeah.
How you doing? That little base. That poor little wood base down here.
Oh, yeah. Come pick up.
Oh yeah. So we're down. Let's see. About 6.5 hours. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I explained the system.
Right.
I'm just kind of seeing what I can see as I walk through.
I got you.
Are you doing that to keep from knocking anything else into the metal?
A little bit. It'll start flaking off, and what happens is when it starts flaking off, it starts landing on your skin. And then you end up with a whole bunch of burns. But it also puts a lot of, I would say, more dents than anything, because what happens is that forge scale starts getting pressed
Into the metal.
into the metal, and you have a whole bunch of texture. But also, it lands on your skin. And
Oh,
burns.
that's the
Yesterday, one got me right inside the lip. Came up, so now I got a blister right there on the inside of the lip. But it happens. You just sit there and you go, oh, that sucks.
That's why I'm going to get that off. Now I know exactly what I'm doing.
You know, so you get some of that off there, you don't risk arguing.
Yeah.
But that and you want a smooth texture whenever you're done forging. So it keeps you from having to worry about a lot of things.
What kind of surface prep do you do with it? Do you have a, what do you do? You run it over a,
I have grinders and everything.
Yeah.
That clean everything up. But lot of what I do is towards the end as opposed to the finished product possible. And then go through and grind it, devils, clean it all up, feel pretty, put hand material on it.
But I mean, the prep into the dead, 3 oysters to this point, that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's all, and I did that yesterday. So I did 3 knives, a little bit sour, and I went ahead and 4 sour.
So,
The whole thing is all done.
you see, if you get it, the closer you get to this point, the less you have to do this. If he's going to do it old style, he's going to be doing it.
The goal is to get it as finished as possible without you having to.
I know, man. That's amazing to me. That's the part that I like to make knives, but that's the part that I have not been able to really get into, man. I've tried it a few times. Woo, that's hard.
It's definitely
A lot of practice.
it's a lot of practice. You gotta be willing to put in a lot.
A lot.
Be able to get to where you're able to do it and everything comes out clean and even how you want it to be.
You probably got to feel anything,
And getting a good eye of what's straight and even. And my goal again is I want to do as much of the finished process as possible before we actually do any of the grinding. And I want to get people used to doing it. Now, I will tell you this, the easiest way to get a really beautiful knife is to do all the grinding part real well. Because will this make it really cool with a knife? Yes, but until you actually get on your grinder and start finishing it, it's still going to look like a pretty crazy looking gnarly thing. But
if you save so much time, the closer you get, but it's worth spending the time here.
And then for me, whenever I like using a forged texture on the flats of the blade. So it has to be looking real clean if you're going to do that. I don't like a whole bunch of huge dents. I just want a nice texture. And it's a pride thing for me too. I want to prove to myself that I can do it. So I take the time to figure that out. Yeah, that's 5 knives. Yeah. That is awesome.
You know, you don't.
So basically, within yesterday morning and this morning, we were able to make this knife. So
you been that forge that long on one bottle?
yeah, that is all the bone, blood, this rare spike here.
Well, that might be a lot of heat there.
That knife right there. So we are at all of these. That's what we did while we were here. Alright, my goal was again, my goal was to do 3 knives in 3 hours yesterday. As the forge and fire thing, I'm forced to do 1 knife. Now, of course, if I was having to do Damascus, it would take me longer. But I did all of this with hammer and anvil, no press, no power. So, and they are all walk up. That's what it looks like when I'm riding up here. Oh, okay. That's just hammer and anvil. No grinding or anything like that. The whole point is being able to do that and achieve that result by using hammers, taking your time, getting your body used to it and all of that. That was my goal.
Think you accomplished it?
Yeah. I like to think so. Thank you. So with this, I was like, I want my hammers up off the ground. I do tend to leave them like this while I'm, just sitting there working with them, but they tend to stay right next to my power hammer. So I'll have all of them just kind of laid out. Now, the guy who makes my hammers, he is, his name's Frank. He's under that burgundy tent over there. And he's the one that does all these hammers. And I absolutely love them. When it comes to tools that make your job easier, that's what you want. So, how about this one? This hammer right here, that is Brian. How old are you? It's older than you.
Oh, really?
Yes. How old are you? 60. That's about as old as both of y'all combined.
Wow.
He resurfaced it and all that.
Oh.
That anvil is made in 1850.
That's cool.
Now, of course, these right here, these are all new hammers that he actually made for me. This is one of his Two Bastards vintage that he did. And, but yeah, those right there, they will last a long time with the faces. Let's say we slightly dent them on the edge or something like that. All you gotta do is go to your grinder, clean it up a little bit, get back to spin. You don't really have to worry about it. It would take a long time for me to go through those hammers and use them to that point. So this is a farrier's hammer. So that was used as my farrier for a long time. And put away, and found, and then cleaned up.
That's a lot of hammer for that.
Yep. And now I'm it's pretty cool being able to have that history and things like that.
Yeah.
Same thing with this right here. Being as old as it is, 1850. So
That's cool.
this is forged. So be able to do this profile. Yep. That's just something else. And that's one of the cool things about doing this. A lot of the stuff that I make gonna outlast me a long time. That's
That's one of the fun things about making knives.
Yep.
They're gonna last you, or somebody's gonna get use out of them. Somebody's gonna, have fun and enjoying it. I give them for gifts. I don't sell. I just give gifts. And they enjoy them. They use them. It's fun.
Is that one of your knives right there?
Yeah, both of these.
Let me see.
This is a poncho I made. That's a booth knife. Different finishes.
That's good though. These are knives that he made. I like that profile. Same thing with that right there. That's a good one.
Yeah, I've beconned wood in my smoker with that. I've beconned a lot of wood with that. And the edge is held up. I like that. I use CPM 154 CM stainless.
Yep.
Yeah, I made that for my wife for a truck gun, but it worked its way to our kitchen and has a lap.
Yeah, that's cool. Yep.
I made him a
Oh, you did a folder.
Yeah, I didn't make folders.
That is cool.
That's titanium frame.
Folder. That is cool. That's one of those things that I want to get into eventually.
It's a different mechanism, that's for sure, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Did you do all of that by hand?
Yeah, well, no, I have a 2x72.
Yep. Or did you use any milling machine or anything
No,
like that?
no,
So,
I don't have a mill.
I'm going to consider that by hand.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Having a mill would be a lot easier.
Oh, yeah. A lot of sanding, a lot of grind, yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And then being able to line everything up.
Yeah, I use the scribe and all that, you know, get a line down there and be real careful about it. It's so slow. It's not like, see, that's what the practice gets you to where you can do something like that in a timely manner. Hey, I'm so damn slow. It helps to avoid errors.
Yep.
Because I'm just slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Serious.
Yep. Oh yeah. Measure, 4 times, cut once. Yep.
It takes me a month of spare time to make a folder.
Yeah.
So, I don't have any practice. It's not practical for me, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing, and again, it's something you have,
I always tell people, the cool thing about knife making is when it comes to like, as close to being instant gratification as possible, that's it. If you're done, it's not done.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Same thing whenever I'm forging these. Even though I haven't turned in fully into a knife, that looks like a knife.
It does, it's nice,
So
And
all
you
I gotta
gotta-
do
you
is
gotta-
finish it.
Yeah.
But that right there is one of the reasons why I like forged to finish so much, because when I'm done forging it, I put all that work into it, I get to look at it and go,
Man, that's the fun of it. Using it if you can.
I know what this is going to turn into whenever I'm done. So, same thing for this one. That is going to be a hell of a cool knife. And that's what I like. I like doing those things, forging, and being able to look at it when I'm done and go,
There's a lot of satisfaction.
yeah, my arm's going to be sore tomorrow, but I get to look at that hope.
Yeah. I know it, man. That's the fun of it.
Yep.
You made something. You made something. People don't do that anymore. You make something that's special.
Yeah, people buy things, and they get rid of that thing, and they buy another thing.
Yeah, when you make something, it's pretty cool. Yeah. A lot of fun. Yeah. I enjoy that, man. Yeah, I'll go with you.
It's good talking to you.
You're an expert. Love it.
Yeah.
And thank you for letting me share mine. I appreciate that too.
Oh, yeah. Cool. So the base that I'm using this forge is actually an anvil stand, which is the reason why there's buckets underneath it. Anvil stands are only so tall. But now it didn't happen until today. What the anvil's on is wood, so that you can either screw or bolt down the anvil to the base. So whenever I was using the knife still, it wasn't a big deal. The flames were just coming out straight. But as I was using the railroad spike, what was happening is I had it out of the forge like this. The flames were hitting this and shooting straight down at that wood. But just so y'all can see it now. That is that profile. How y'all doing? And we got done forging that railroad spike. Got forged. And got them forging now. These are all done. Well, yesterday. Yeah, like you pick it up, you gotta give it a little. It's fun. I think that turned out real well. Nice and even. I wanted this ridge that comes into here to flow through the blade. So whenever I beveled the edges, I beveled them into the spine. right there. So that the same texture that's going to be on the spine runs all the way down to the end of the spike. And I'm going to leave that whenever I go through and grind it. So that spine profile and how it actually flows through the handle right there almost looks like a full tang with the railroad spike as scales. So I did it on that. I did it on the bottom too. Nice little recurve profile. That is going to clean up into a really cool looking knife. Not too bad. I think if I did anything to it, look straight down the spine right here, and I tend to show people all of these things, but look straight down, this section could possibly come over just a hair, like the actual pommel section, that could come over just a hair. All I gotta do to get that, to achieve that, is put it in the vise right here, and then just kick that over. Or I could do it with the hammer and anvil. There we go. Now that's exactly how I want it to be. Cool. Oh yeah. Nice little simple railroad spike knife. I'm going to show y'all what we forged while I was here. Move y'all around. This is what we were able to forge while we were here. Large kukri. This was going to be the large knife. It's, of course, the not largest knife now. That's all forged, so fit in your hand how it's supposed to fit. And then got a small knife, full handle, little integral knife right there. The I-beamed handle. Not going to grab that one because that's the one we just got done forging. There's just a lot of different knives. All of that. So a lot of people wonder how long a bottle of propane like that would last. If I was talking less and I was just forging knives, just forging back to back to back to back, I would be able to forge twice as many knives as I forged right here. Easily twice as many knives. So if I was just going through and just forging and not doing all the talking and not doing the education part of this, it would be probably close to like, I don't know, I could probably forge 12, 15 plus knives off of one tank like that. If I really wanted to get after it, I probably could forge like 25, maybe more. So it just really depends on what you're doing there. So it's not bad. I want to show y'all real quick. I'm going to show y'all the other forging setups that they have at the show. So I'll show y'all real quick. You have the other spots over here. So this is the size anvil that I kind of wanted to bring with me, little Atlas anvil, for being able to go to like shows and demonstrate and do things like that. That anvil is like the perfect size for knife making. And then of course, this is what he's working on right now. Not putting you on the spot, but I am. Hey, dude. So this is what he's working on right now. You see what I mean though? Like this anvil is plenty to be able to forge knives and do demos at a show.
65 pounds, man.
Yep.
It's a lot easier to move around.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Getting it looking good. He's knocking out a bunch of them.
I started doing this little notch on the handle right there because I saw you doing it yesterday.
It's very,
So I saw that right there and I was like, man, try that. So I knocked out a few of them.
That's the way to do it. That way your handle's preset, kind of ready to go.
Yeah.
Makes life a lot easier.
Yeah.
And what I'll do,
Plagiarism's where it's at, buddy.
hey, I'll tell you right now, that's knife making 101 for you. I saw somebody else do a thing, so now I'm doing a new thing.
Yeah, that's right.
That tends to be how all that works. You know how it goes. Hey, that's no joke right there. And basically a similar version of the forge I'm using right now. Just getting after it. Oh yeah. Nice and straight. See, but that right there, this is so whenever I'm sitting in the, if I'm sitting in his little area right here, it could be just, that's what I need. I need chairs so that people can sit there and watch me do my thing while I'm forging. But yeah, he was able to knock out plenty of blades here. And think about this. A lot of this, you knock out knife, 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 knife. That's all money right there. It might not look like money right now, but that is all money right there. And doing this particular trade and this craft, that's what it's all about. It's not all about the money aspect of it, but what it is being able to use your hands and your skills to be able to do something like this. And let me tell you something, again, a lot of people think that you need a huge anvil to do some of this stuff. Look at, this is the size of my hand compared to this anvil, okay? This is not a big anvil, okay? You see this? Not a big anvil, but it's just enough to be able to get the job done. It doesn't have a horn on it. Now they do make this with a small horn, but you don't really need that for what you're gonna do with this type of anvil. And just a simple base, nothing too crazy to be able to accomplish everything that you need to do. And just a nice, simple forge.
And the cool thing about it is the hardy hole, man. 'Cause you know, like I got a hot cut right here.
Yep.
And you can get hardy tools. Like if you're wanting a horn or something rounded, then you can buy a hardy tool to put in there.
Yep.
And, you know, turn it every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
Use it like that.
And Frank over at Two Bastard, he actually has a nice round, almost kind of like horn styles with all of it. And he, you could put that in there, and boom, before you know it, you got horns. And I will tell you this: they make complete double horn anvil setups for hardy holes. So one of my friends, just got a good piece of beef jerky. So one of my friends, Black Beer Projects, he has this really cool double horn anvil that goes into a hardy hole, and he's got this like huge 500-pound anvil. He's got another anvil that goes into a hardy hole on that, and he works with that. But you can do that with this. You can easily do a hardy tool that has a round on it or whatever, and you're pretty much good. But just the anvil, simple thing like this, forge yourself a bunch of little knives. Make some good money. And of course, these guys here, they're actually doing experiences, so people can come here and actually forge while they're doing it. I'm gonna take y'all over to the Aggie blacksmith setup again. This is where I was using their vise to be able to do what I was gonna mess with on that big kukri. So they've got their setup over here to where they can go through and do whatever they're gonna do. So let me show y'all actually what we were doing. So they got their vise here. This is the one I was using to straighten that blade. And then of course, anvil set up. Nice thing about where this anvil is right now, if you look at his height, that's probably perfect. For a lot of people, this is probably too tall. What they think is too tall. But for me, I'd forge on that all day with that height. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to bend over as much. And then of course, another, this simple forge, nothing too crazy. You can get forges like this, kind of in this style off of Amazon.
So this is actually from Amazon. This is a buddy of ours.
Yep.
We usually use coal forges when we're out of coal.
Yep.
So this was, I think, $100.
Yeah, see? $100 forge.
Stabilized on the inside. We got some refractory cement in there. Really important.
Yep. Yeah. So you take something like this, and then something like that little Atlas anvil that was over there, and y'all could literally start forging without having to have a whole bunch of crazy tools or anything like that. And I mean, just like me right now, he's using just a regular old propane tank off of a griddle. You don't have to do anything super crazy. I'm using a propane tank that would be under a grill. He's using that. You don't need some crazy fancy, big old huge tank to do a lot of this stuff. And then, just like Frank will tell you, you want to start with Harbor Freight hammers, just reface them a little bit, adjust them, start doing your thing. You can get tongs off of Amazon. Yep, those tongs right there.
I would recommend getting a nice pair of tongs to start off with.
Yep.
Nothing expensive, of course, but it makes a big difference.
It does make a huge difference. It's nice and easy.
So right now we're working on a piece of Kumai.
Yep.
It's nice and slow.
Weld it all the way around so that copper doesn't seep out. So my first Kumai billet I ever did, I put my layers together and I wrapped it in baling wire.
Uh-oh.
No, it worked out great. So I watched a video, and the trick to it is the outer layer is copper. So as soon as you see it start sweating, pull it out, starts forging. Put it back in, so you just see it start to build up that sweat layer, pull it out, start forging. And as long as you did that, you don't have to worry about it melting out.
You just grind off the copper?
Yep. I did 2 huge Kumai billets and made a huge knife out of it, like super thick copper knife.
So did you make it together? You just wrapped it?
Wrapped in baling wire.
Yeah. That's cool. We haven't tried that.
Yeah.
This was given to us last night show. Do you remember the gentleman that gave it to us?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, very nice of him to do that. And he was working on it all show, probably 3 hours, just hitting, counting his hits, counting his hits.
Oh yeah.
So that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, I'll show you what knife I was able to knock out of wrapping it in baling wire, and you'll be like, "Holy shit, that's a what?" Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Did y'all get some more steel?
Yeah, we got 1095.
Yep.
Whenever he's done doing that, wake something on.
Maybe unbeat your handles on the ball peen.
Ball peen, then I have a Farrier's hammer too as well.
We have grinding handles, but we forgot our ball peen.
The only problem we're having right now with that is the bottom side of that isn't as hot
Yeah.
as as long as we rotate it.
Yeah.
But hit this side, and then by the time we flip it, the other side's.
So you want me to? I've got a fire brick. You want a fire brick for the back?
Yeah, that actually be great.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get them a fire brick for the back of their forge to make it to where they can heat it up easier. They're working on a Kumai billet right now, and the hard part about that forge they're using is it has an open back door, front door, and it's not gonna let them do exactly what they need to do.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, thank you. Chris coming in clutch with the ice because this thing actually burnt through right here. I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, Evan. I'm so. Well, yeah, because I am taking it back to the house, so it will have a fresh piece of wood in it. I'm not gonna let them get ruined like that. Okay, we're gonna go get the Aggie blacksmith guys a fire brick because I came prepared. These beautiful people. Look at them. Y'all want to see some bastards eating food?
That's it.
That's them right there.
Welcome to the Two Bastards tent where we sell hammers and eat food.
So just like I was telling you a second ago, while we're doing that detour, so with that Atlas forge, that little anvil, you could easily get tools like this to go into the hardy hole to give you that radius. I mean, there's so many different things you could put. You could put a little anvil inside your anvil.
The hot cut, the prime Brazil hot cut.
All of that. So there's a lot of things that you can do to be able to modify those little anvils like that to be able to get what you're looking for. All right, so I'm gonna go back here and get them a fire brick. Hopefully I'm not making any of y'all dizzy by me walking around. Fire brick. How many of y'all have a fire brick in the back of your Honda Odyssey? Probably not many. All right, I gotta take the Aggies a fire brick. They're working on a Kumai billet on that little forge that they have. It's open front and back. Yeah, not getting hot enough. Okay, we're going back over. Y'all are gonna have to see me throw a hatchet here in a minute. Whenever we closed out the show last night, we went over to his little hatchet throwing place he has back there. It's that green Kent back there above that guy in the blue shirt with the hat on. I was throwing hatchets for like 45 minutes last night. I went down a rabbit hole of hatchet throwing. Okay. There we go. Now we'll let that heat up a little bit. That should help them quite a bit.
They're there last year. Y'all know what time?
That's gonna help quite a bit. Having the brick on the back of there.
Oh yeah, I've seen some. This one's nice because you can turn off one of the burners here.
Oh, I do like that.
My first propane forge was a 3-burner, and you could turn off 2 of the burners.
Yep.
So I just stick a fire brick on the inside that I cut down, and then use 1 burner and be great.
That's how mine is. So mine, I've got an 18-inch chamber, and you can turn off the burners individually as you go back. And I do have a fire brick, but I'll just choop, choop, however I gotta do. So it'll be a 1-burner forge or whatever I need it to be. Yep, but it works out real well.
This one works pretty well. We actually, when we first got it, got some forge building with it, which is pretty impressive for Amazon forge.
Yep, I agree.
But we, like I said, we mostly work with coal.
And coal, you get that bad boy up to screaming hot. No time.
Regularly, people do melt it.
Oh yeah. But no, I guarantee everybody's first knife that they made in a coal forge turned into a lump of steel.
You take a phone call, you talk to your buddy, or just not focus.
Yep.
You
Done. At least if you're cranking, the guys that hook the vacuum up to it or hook a blower up to it, there's no cranking, so they just forget. And it's blowing the whole entire time.
When we first started, we had an old 12-volt AC one, the truck.
Yep.
You look that up, but you can't control that. So I made like a little
Like a valve?
basically, valve to control the flow. But still, forget about it, it's still blowing.
Oh yeah.
So it's nice to be able to drag this in. There's one more variability in it. That's the fire. Small pieces, big pieces, you can zero into that. Much better.
Yep.
Hard to cut my foot off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's hot.
Staring at the fire too long, everything else becomes rough.
How do you think that's burning? About 20.
Yeah, I used to work with Western Forge and Blaze. So I got the chance to work on some really awesome Yeah. And I've worked on a 8,000, 12,000.
Let's see something here.
We used to forge.
That's decent rebound.
It is. We have a number of anvils. We get most of them on Facebook Marketplace. Jacob over here has a knack for getting that sort of deals like this. This one is mounted with some silicone.
Yeah. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine have silicone at the bottom of all of them. It deadens the sound a lot. You don't have to worry about putting magnets.
Yeah, it's great.
What we got here?
Pretty simple. This is all junkyard steel here. So if you are going to go the route of welding up your own stand, we have we have some MIG welders, some little like hand welders, nothing crazy.
Yep.
But it gets the job done.
Oh, it's great.
So everything we do is budget.
Yeah, it's literally a anvil stand. Do not go super crazy with it. As long as it is sturdy, that's what matters.
Yeah, there's a certain angle. I think Mark Ling and Ryan Brazil, they use like a 7-degree angle, which we tried and just found that it was not quite steep enough. I'm not sure what angle Jacob does, but he does it on all of our stands.
Yep.
And we put sand in the legs of these sometimes.
Yep.
Drill a hole there. It's great.
I had a hole in the ground. That's what
The nice thing about Kumai is you're not having to worry about forge welding as much because you're just brazing. That's all that's really happening in there. But the tensile streak's actually pretty good. I've made some knives with big chunks of copper in them that you can chop wood with it.
This will be my first Kumai. So I'll take it.
Dude, that's awesome.
We're going to try and get 2 small knives out of this.
Yeah?
One for me, one for Jacob. And then we have our third roommate, Charles, who also is a blacksmith. It's pretty awesome if you can find roommates that are blacksmiths.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love trying to figure out what you can forge out of whatever too.
Oh yeah, there's a great junkyard in College Station called Brazos County Iron and Steel.
Yep.
Mark Link found a 400-pound anvil there.
Oh, nice.
So part of the reason we go is trying to find something like that.
Yeah.
But they got rebar, they got bearings, they got everything.
Just stumble upon a 400-pound anvil. You want me just to get rid of that for y'all? Just don't worry, I'll take it. Don't worry. You don't want that here. You don't want that here, guys. All the room that's taken up. Let me take that off your hands.
Every time I drive by an old barn, I'm like, I wonder if there's an anvil in there.
Yeah.
They don't want it.
They just don't care about.
Yeah, they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully they stay on Facebook Marketplace and they won't know how much it costs.
Oh yeah, that's been holding the ground down for like 6 years. You can have that. Okay.
I've been lucky. I've gotten all my anvils for about $2 a pound.
Yeah, that's good.
Just stay on Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
There was one time we found anvil, 70-pound anvil, a pole forge, a nice one with a cast iron pot, a nice Champion 300 blower, 400 blower, 250 for all of it. Text the guy, can I get it? Like, yeah, I've got someone to look in the morning. I'll come right now. Like, okay. Left at 10:30 at night, drove an hour and a half to go get it.
So you can always tell how, what type of
smithing you do by how you hold your hammer. And so you do a lot of blacksmithing. So if you watch him, whenever he holds a hammer, he's got a full grip on it like that. Whenever you watch a lot of knife makers, that's how they hold the hammer. But if you're used to blasting still and having to move a whole bunch of shit, you can see the different grips that people use on these and the actual shape of the hammer here. That kind of octagonal versus it being a full round. So you're gonna see that on a lot of these.
I was gonna say, does the grip have to do with because knife makers are typically using lower? They're not hitting as hard as blacksmiths are.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So
I have a lighter hammer that I'll use for knife making. This is my big knife making hammer because I like the straight through here. And then this is my everything else hammer.
yeah.
But I do really like, I had a round handle before these ones. But having that octagonal handle, I wasn't initially a fan, but you can index it so well.
Yep.
That it's just, I can't go back.
Yep. So if you watch me forge, I'll use like my 5-pound cross peen, and even with that, I still use a pinch grip. Basically, that right there, that is what you're gonna see me do a lot of it. And then the way I swing is weird, but I can blast with like a 5-pound rounding hammer for like 10 hours.
Wow. I used a 10-pound hammer. I gave myself 10 to 9 inches.
Yeah. So
I use a 3-pound now.
we use that whenever we're at the Dragon Forge, and we're forging the whole entire day, like 4 spike knives every 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
And we use the customers as strikers too, but a lot of them can't swing a hammer for anything, so it's like we're sitting there and we're blasting the heck out of it the whole entire time. So you'll see, like I said, that the hammer grip on there as you're doing it.
I think I might have gotten it too hard for my
Nah, it's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, with that right there, you get it up to a nice glowing orange, you're still fine. Because your goal is to keep it below 1900.
There's some copper. I'm not sure if it was something that was already in there, but there's something melted in there.
Well, what'll happen is your refractory and all that, even though it's hardened, that stuff will start melting onto your steel. Yeah, so that'll start melting onto the steel a little bit, and as you're knocking it off or you're cleaning it, anything like that, yeah, you'll start getting that on there. Yeah. Sure?
It's like when it breaks the glass.
Oh yeah.
There's a little bit of copper right there.
Our forge that we're using.
Oh,
yep, right there.
That's not ideal.
As long as you keep it at the right temp, you're gonna be fine. Like I said, my first Kumai I ever did, it was wrapped in belling wire. There was no welds. Yep.
I think it's squirting on the top of it.
I should have brought 2 anvils.
Well, you can work in it if you want.
Yeah, the copper is just on the end there. Yep.
I can tell that you're hitting, that your hits are striking like this.
Yeah, I'm alternating.
Yeah, but the other side isn't spreading out because your billets went from straight to looking a little bit like this.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You get copper on my anvil?
Starting to do the rhombus thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be back over here in just a minute. I'm gonna wrap this one up. I've been going live for like 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, man. We're gonna go ahead and go back over here to Nisha because she's been, how you doing? She's been by herself for like, since I've been walking around. So I'm gonna go back over here with her and I'm gonna relieve her and let her go do some stuff. So, yeah. I'm going to thank everybody for being here and being a part of this. And I'm gonna go ahead and work my table for a little bit. Y'all are awesome. Thank y'all for participating in the comment section, hanging out with us. Y'all are amazing. I'm going to be releasing a video on Tuesday, Shop Talk Tuesday, kind of a recap of this experience. So I'll have that out on Tuesday. Y'all check it out. And we'll be going live next Saturday, forging, and then I'll go live whenever Jay Nilsson does his actual demonstration. So you'll have my live for whenever I'm doing my demo, and then I'll go live again when Jay Nilsson from the Forged and Fire does his demo, him and Shelly. And then we'll go from there. Guys, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for hanging out. I'm going to work my table right there with my wonderful wife. And y'all have an amazing rest of your weekend day, your Sunday, and an amazing week. I'll catch y'all next time, okay? Bye, y'all.